Now, earlier this week, we brought you the news that the British Army's training facility in Belize is drawing down next year. In recent times, many thousands of soldiers, sailors and airmen have served there as British Forces Belize and more recently as BATSUB, facilitating jungle training for visiting units. Our reporter Charlotte Cross now takes a look at the recent history of the British military presence there.
Belize is littered with reminders of its British colonial heritage. After the country achieved independence in 1981, British forces remained to prevent an invasion by neighbouring Guatemala. In the years that followed, many British infantry battalions rotated through Belize, fully integrating with the indigenous Belize Defence Force, the BDF.
Very early there were people coming back from the Falklands, for example, I think 2 para, talking about the value of fire and manoeuvre, because they had actually just done it.
In 1993, Britain's operational role evolved into a training presence known as BATSUB. At the same time, the BDF expanded, becoming wholly responsible for the country's defence.
I think the BDF have stepped up and taken on their role that they needed to take on for the defence of the country, which they've done, and they're now very professional.
Today, BATSUB and the BDF still work alongside each other, sharing Price Barracks, and the BDF continues to benefit from its British ties. These soldiers from the Belize Defence Force have just spent 6 weeks on a training course that the British Army have designed for them, and British soldiers have come out here to teach it. And it's a perfect example of the close relationship that exists between the two armies here in Belize.
We are surrounded by countries that have professional armed forces. We, the Belize Defence Force, the only defence that the nation has, we have to remain professional. And so we can only remain professional if we do the appropriate and the right training.
BATSUB injects around £3 million a year into the local economy. The enduring British presence also offers security, and for many it's unthinkable they should ever leave.
They are here to stay. They may change from time to time, but they won't be moving out now anytime soon.
I wouldn't say that will become an attack, but I feel much more secure with them, yeah.
Veteran Bob Stevens thinks next year's BATSUB drawdown will be detrimental. Only a tiny British contingent will remain behind, with some very limited training.
Most Belizeans, especially the older generation, they remember the British being here. They remember the organisation and the administration, and they still respect Britain for that, and they respect the British Army being here, and it gives them a sense of comfort, the British Army being here, there's no doubt about that.
Over the years, many thousands of British troops have served in Belize or taken part in the jungle training with BATSUB, 9,000 of them in the last 3 years alone.
Many of your viewers, listeners who will have deployed here will have many pleasurable memories of deploying out here. And hopefully those will in effect continue, because the British relationship and BATSUB deploying out here will continue.
At the airport, one Harrier stands as a reminder of the past. It's a legacy which won't be forgotten anytime soon. Charlotte Cross, Forces News, Belize.